Are you ready for a journey into the darkest corners of real life? What if I told you these terrifying tales aren't fiction, but real experiences shared by survivors? Brace yourself. These stories might just haunt you tonight. Let's dive into the top 10 scariest real-life horror stories from survivors. Number 10. The mysterious hotel room. A businessman checks into a hotel only to discover disturbing noises from the room next door. He hears whispers, footsteps, and strange knocking at odd hours. When he asks the hotel staff about it, they reveal there is no room next door. Turns out, the room had been sealed for years after a horrific incident. Real or illusion? The man left that night, never looking back. Number 9. Trapped under snow. Imagining being buried alive in a snow avalanche with no way to escape. This happened to a skier who was trapped under several feet of snow for hours, with the weight pressing on his chest. Just when he felt he would lose his mind, he saw faint lights and heard voices. His rescuers. To this day, he has nightmares of the snow closing in around him. Number 8. Stalked by a shadow. A woman walking home late at night kept feeling a dark shadow following her. When she sped up, so did the shadow. At one point, she turned around and saw nothing, yet the feeling intensified. She ran to her door, heart pounding, only to feel a hand on her shoulder. But when she looked back, there was no one there. To this day, she's never sure if it was real or her mind playing tricks. Number 7. The cabin in the woods. A family on vacation finds an isolated cabin, perfect for a weekend getaway. But that night, they start hearing scratching noises on the windows. The sounds get closer and louder until they're everywhere. In a panic, they leave the cabin only to find strange marks all around it the next morning. Was it animals or something else lurking in the dark? Number 6. Haunted by a stranger. A man receives phone calls every night from an unknown number. Silence on the line, followed by faint breathing. Each night, the calls come exactly at 2 a.m. when he finally reports it to the police. They trace the calls to his own empty basement. His story remains one of the creepiest unexplained mysteries. If you're fascinated by real-life horror stories like these, consider subscribing for more spine-chilling content. Please subscribe, because hitting your subscribe button can give me new motivation to work harder and succeed. Number 5. Lost in a cave. An adventurer exploring a cave got separated from his group. He wandered alone in the darkness, his flashlight flickering. Hours passed, and he could hear strange whispers echoing in the cave. Just as he was about to give up hope, he found his group. He believed something wanted him to stay there, forever.
Number 4. The watcher at the window. A woman alone at home saw a figure standing outside her window, staring in with an unnatural stillness. She quickly turned off the lights and called for help, but by the time they arrived, the figure was gone. Police later found footprints leading to her window, but no sign of the stranger. She still wonders who or what was watching her.
Number 3. A train to nowhere. A late-night passenger fell asleep on a train, only to wake up to an empty carriage in complete darkness. The train wasn't moving, and there were no signs of life. After what felt like hours, the train started up, and suddenly the lights came back. The passenger claimed it felt like they'd crossed into another world. Number 2. The phantom hitchhiker. Driver picks up a hitchhiker on a deserted road. They talk for a bit, but when the driver glances back in the mirror, the hitchhiker is gone. When he tells this story, he finds out that several people have reported the same thing on that road for years. Was it a ghost, or was he imagining things? Number 1. Voices from the sea. A fisherman lost at sea drifted on his boat for days. Starving and dehydrated, he started hearing voices calling his name from the water. He even saw hands reaching out for him. When he was rescued, he described the haunting voices to his rescuers, but no one believes what he saw or heard. Which of these real-life horror stories gave you chills? Share your favorite in the comments below, and let us know if you want more top 10 lists from around the world. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss more tales that'll keep you on the edge of your seat.